Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to episode 8 of Man Without a Title. This episode is called Held On to Hope. Um, this episode is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little less about me, per se, and a little bit about a few individuals that was placed in my life early on, um, through Christ and His grace, that had a big impact on my life, never gave up on me, and they showed me what it was to portray true love, um, to portray being Christ-like. They gave me love, they gave me mercy, they gave me will to want to be better. So before I get into this, I want to say just something real short. For the people who know me and are listening, um, the few people that I'm talking about tonight are not the only ones that I can give credit um, to for helping me become who I am and who I'm still becoming, and had a big impact on my life. So um, I don't have time to go through everybody. Don't get you know upset or offended if I don't mention your name. It's not that. It's not that. I mean, you know who you are. I just want a few. I want to recognize a few people that are important to me. I want them to know how much I appreciate what they did. Um, so, like I was saying, um, the people that I'm talking about here, they never gave up on me. Um, Many times I deserved to be given up on. I did things to them. I put them through the ringer. Um, and I'll say this: if it wasn't for them being Christians, being saved, and having the love of God in them, they could have never did what they did. Just to get into it a little bit here, there was some really bad seasons in my life. Like I've told you guys some stories, and many times I didn't believe in myself. Um, Not because I didn't have the ability, but because I didn't have the courage. I was a very big coward in a lot of areas of my life. I played the tough guy, but I was a coward. Uh, and not because I wasn't strong enough. I I had the capability. I was very strong physically, not mentally. I had no confidence, right? But not that I didn't have potential in my head, but because I never actually believed in myself. And in those seasons, one of the big reasons that I made it this far and I kept moving forward was because there was people that the Lord put in place purposely in my life to work through to show me what real unconditional love meant, what real true presence of God was. Okay, and they were the people in my life who saw something in me more than other people, even when I couldn't see it in myself. Okay, um, they saw the man that I could become, but I was stuck in the man that I was. And I was stuck in the things that I was doing. And I was running on a treadmill, wasn't going nowhere, right? They always believed in me before I even believed in myself. They had faith in me even when I didn't have that faith in myself. Even when I felt like I didn't deserve it. I didn't deserve the love, right? That they were just so willingly pouring out on me. And these specific people that were placed in my life, they were placed there specifically for me for just the right reasons and just the right times. Okay? But they all had one common denominator through all of it, was they stuck with me. They stuck around when I didn't deserve them. They had every chance to just drop me and leave me behind, but they kept showing up. I would push them away, they would show up. They kept after me, even when I was hiding from them. My phone would ring and I would see it was this person, and like that, but they would just show up out of nowhere. They stayed when it was easier for them to walk away, right? Um, when the progress was slow, when they thought that there was no hope. They stayed when my attitude didn't match the potential that they had of me in their heads. Um, there were a lot of times that I wanted the comfort of my life, but they would push me away from that. Um, there were times I wanted excuses, you know, make excuses, and but they always kept me accountable. Many times I wanted to quit, right? But somehow they were showing me what I was capable of and what I really was and what I really could become. But the biggest thing that showed me was they never lowered their standards, right? They loved me enough to push me towards the man that they knew I could be without compromising their morals to make me feel good. They believed in me even when I didn't really want it. I didn't appreciate it. I ran it through the mud. I stomped on it. Sometimes I resisted it. I didn't want it. I fought it a lot. They're being too hard on me. Why are they so worried about me? It's just me. Why do they care? But looking back, that wasn't pressure. That was love. There were moments when my faith, I had none. It was weak. It was dying. And I felt like I had no self-worth. Like I wasn't worthy of anything. Moments where even I thought I was too far gone. Moments I couldn't even see if I even had a future beyond what I was currently dealing with or struggling with. And I was doubting everything, including myself, but God, I was nothing. And the big thing was in those moments, that's when God used them people to hold their belief in my life. And I lived at that time a lot on borrowed confidence, borrowed hope, borrowed money, borrowed this, borrowed that. I never had anything of my own, right? I was weak, frustrated, I was angry, I was mad, I was wanting to give up, I was wanting to throw the towel in. But there they were. God's soldiers, the people the strong people that he kept sending to me, and they would hold me up. They reminded me a lot. You're not forgotten. We love you. They challenged me. Even when I settled for nothing, they challenged me to be the best. They refused to let me give up on myself. But boy, did I test their patience. I tell you what, I I disappointed them. I lied to them. I stole from them. I cheated them. I took steps backwards. They would make mistakes. They would help me take a few steps forward, and I take 10 steps back. And I know it. But truth be told, again, if it wasn't for them people, I don't know where I'd be right now. Now, don't get me wrong. Okay, so like I was saying in the beginning, I had a lot of people in my corner rooting for me. There's no doubt about that. a lot of people who loved me and wanted to see me do well and wanted to see me change and wanted to see the better in me. But there was a few special ones that the Lord knew. He's very smart. He knows everything. He knew that there's a few people that he could put in my life that he knew I would listen to. That maybe I wouldn't listen to anybody else, but I would listen to them. And God never gave up on me. But sometimes God uses other people, right? And God wasn't done with me. And the people he placed in my life refused to believe otherwise, that I wasn't done, that he wasn't done with me. Um, a big driving force in my life was my dad. Um, Everything I put him through, everything I did, I don't, I don't deserve the love he showed me. I don't know where I'd be without him. Um, as many times as I dishonored him, disobeyed him, cheated him, stole from him, borrowed money, never gave back, didn't listen to him, he showed me that there's no human love, even a father's love, that was more powerful than Christ, than the love of Christ. But the love of Christ works through him, to me. And even though there's many times where I know he thought he wasn't getting through to me, he was. Um, Always drove me to be a better person, to be a better man, to be a better Christian. And I took it for granted. I took him for granted. I still do. Um, there's not enough words to express how thankful I am that he didn't give up on me, that he didn't let me go when he had every chance to. The second person, um, from a kid, I looked up to this guy. He was my hero. You know, growing up, excuse me, growing up with older cousin. He's a football star and good at everything he did. You know, uh, I loved him. I worked up to him, and I thank God every day that he found Christ, because before he found Christ, he wasn't a role model, and he'll tell you that. But after Christ, you can see the change in his life, and I'm so proud of him, and I'm so thankful because when he when he gave his life to God, it it was a God fearing Jimmy Mack, and he many times he would get me work with him. I'd show up, I'd work, I'd leave. He'd expect me to come, but he always showed me, that he loved me, and he always stuck with me. I mean, he be to this day, we random phone calls, and I love him and I appreciate him so much. I can't even explain to you guys what the huge impact he had on my life. Um, Many times I stole from him. I lied to him. I cheated him. I would not show up for work, but he hired me back time and time and time again, just like my father. And I gave him every reason not to. keep loving me. I gave him every reason to give up on me. But time and time again, there he was, calling me up. Yo, guys, you want to go to the football game? You want to come over and hang out? Uh, do you want to go do this? He was always trying to spend time with me. Like, I knew he had other people. He had friends. He could be out with anybody else. But why me? I know now why. He taught me what it was to be a man in different ways than my dad did. Um, and again, that's what God knows best, because there's some things that my dad couldn't get through to me because I didn't want to listen. But he knew that my cousin Jimmy could maybe get through to me because he knows how much I look up to him. And some, sorry guys, and some of the times I would say, who am I that they would put this much effort into me? Like, I don't even want to put that effort into myself, let alone Jimmy driving a half hour, 40 minutes just to meet me at a restaurant, just to spend time with me, for whatever, just to be with me, just to show me that he loved me. Um, my dad, same thing. I would go to his house. I remember many times on a Friday night before I'd have to go to the bar and meet my buddies, and him and my mom would be there. And they would just keep talking and talking and talking, and I'm just sitting there like, I gotta go. Next thing I knew, it was midnight. Still there talking. Well, it's too late to go out, so I would just go home. And I looked back, and my dad's slick. I knew what he was doing. I didn't know then, but I knew now. He figured if he could just be with me, spend time with me, even though he wanted to go to bed or he wanted to go do something, no, he knew it would be better if I was there. Because if I wasn't there, I'd be out at the bars. My mom knew I'd be out at the bars, my dad. So what what could happen? So they kept me there, right? And it was surreal looking back now, thinking about all that and thinking about the love that I had from them people. But the biggest thing was through that all, through everything. There's something that I really want I took away from it, right? Is giving up on people. It's easy. It's very easy to do. But actually believing and standing by somebody through the whole process, through the ups and downs, takes patience, and it's hard. That's a patience that only God can give. That's a love that only can come from God. And the faith that they showed me, my goodness, that's the kind of faith that he talks about in First Corinthians that can move mountains. And in my puny brain at the time, I didn't see it because I didn't think I deserved it. In the end, through all the ups and downs, through all the crap I put them through, they never gave up. They stuck with me. And and in return, they let the love of Christ shine through them in so many ways that they helped and molded the man that I'm slowly becoming. And trust me, I remember it wasn't easy. I was very loud about my discussions, and I made it very hard on them. but they always seem to be able to just keep me enough with the random calls, the just showing up, the all of a sudden, hey, you want to go have some lunch, cuz you want to go watch the game. There's always something. Hey, my dad called, hey, you want to come over, we'll cook some steaks? But just come over. There were always times I got frustrated with them and I wanted to just give up, just turn my phone off and go. And I know they got frustrated because there was times where they didn't think that anything was working. And I was stuck. And I was not gonna come out of this. They didn't just see me for who I am as a person. They held on to hope for me for who they knew I could become. They saw potential in me. They saw worth and showed me love like our Heavenly Father shows them love and shows us love every day. I understand something just a little bit deeper about the whole process and about the whole experience. And I'm almost done here. So if God never gives up on me, how could I give up on the people I love? The people who stuck with me through everything. My dad, my cousin Jimmy, my wife, my kids, what I put them through, my whole entire family, my friends that were close to me, the ones that stuck with me, alongside me through this journey. And I thank God that He put them people in my life. And the ones that are still becoming with me on this journey alongside me, there's a great scripture that goes in line with that, Galatians 6:9. Let us not go weary in doing good. For at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we don't give up. If there's someone in your life that might be alive today because you didn't quit on them, be proud of yourself. Someone's future could depend on your patience, on your kindness, on your love. And maybe today is the day that you need to make that phone call or go show up at somebody's house. You may be exhausted, but a phone call could go a long way. But let me tell you this, if God hasn't given up on me yet, He ain't giving up on anybody else. And remember, my story ain't over. I am who I am today because the people that God placed in my life, I held on to them for hope until I could hold it myself. And now it's my responsibility to do the same for others. Because if I don't, shame on me. This is Man Without a Title, episode 8. Thank you guys for watching. God bless and keep it pushing. Don't give up. The people who never gave up on hope are the people who never gave up on me, even when I didn't deserve it. We'll see you next time, Man Without a Title. God bless. Have a good night.